Auschwitz. This single word, it represents one of the absolute darkest chapters in all of human history. But it's also the crucible from which one of the most profound books on the human spirit was ever forged. So let's explore how that happened.
He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. This powerful quote from Nietzsche, it's really the central question of our explainer today. What is it that gives a person the strength to endure the truly unimaginable? What is that why that makes any how bearable? Well, a psychiatrist named Viktor Frankl sought to answer that very question. But here's the thing. He didn't do it from the comfort of an office. He discovered his answer as prisoner number 119-104 in the concentration camps of the Holocaust, and his book, Man's Search for Meaning, is his testament.
Now, to really, truly grasp Frankl's incredible insight, we have to first try to understand what he and millions of others went through. We have to understand what it means to be stripped down to your absolute naked existence.
Frankl says that when you arrived, a single SS officer would play what he called the finger game. Just a casual point of the finger, left or right. And that gesture, that simple gesture, decided life or death. For 90% of the people on Frankl's transport, a point in one direction meant they were sent straight to the gas chambers. Just like that.
And the process that followed was just ruthlessly systematic. Every single thing that marked you as an individual was taken away. Your belongings, your papers, even the hair on your head. Your name was literally erased, replaced by a number tattooed on your skin. Your entire past life was just gone. For Frankl, the breaking point, the culmination of all this loss, came when he tried to save his life's work, a precious manuscript he'd been working on. A guard just looked at it, laughed, and yelled the word shit at him. And as Frankl writes, it was in that exact moment that he realized he had to strike out my whole former life. It was all over.
So this brings us to the absolute core of it all. When you have nothing left, no stuff, no status, no name, not even hair, what is actually left of you? What part of a human being is untouchable?
Frankl's answer to that question is, and I mean this, one of the most powerful ideas of the 20th century. He called it the last of the human freedoms.
This right here, this is a profound truth. Think about it. Your body can be imprisoned, your things can be taken, but your mind, your inner self, that remains sovereign. No one can actually force you how to think or feel about what's happening to you. That choice, that is always yours.
And look, this wasn't just some nice theory for him. He saw it in action. He witnessed men walking through the freezing huts, comforting other people, giving away their very last piece of bread. These acts, he said, were all the proof he needed that this inner freedom is real, and it can never be taken away.
Okay, so this inner freedom is the tool. But what was the fuel, right? How did people actually use this freedom to survive? The answer, as Frankl discovered, is all about having a purpose.
You'd think that physical strength would be the deciding factor for survival, but that's not what Frankl saw. It was mental and spiritual strength. The people who had a why, a reason to keep going, a goal to look forward to. They were the ones who could somehow endure the horrific how of camp life.
So what do these future goals even look like? Well, for some, it was the intense, vivid image of a loved one they were desperate to see again. For Frankl himself, he pictured himself, after the war, standing on a lecture stage, teaching students about the psychology of the concentration camp. That future vision gave his present suffering a purpose. And the alternative was just grimly predictable. When a prisoner lost hope, when they just couldn't see any point to their suffering anymore, they lost their spiritual hold. They'd often just refuse to get up, lie down in their own filth, and within a few days, they'd be gone.
So if meaning is the absolute key to survival and to living a fulfilling life, where do we find it? Well, Frankl's school of psychotherapy, which he called logotherapy, actually outlines 3 distinct paths.
This chart here really shows you just how revolutionary Frankl's idea was. You know, Freud taught that our main drive was for pleasure, and another psychologist, Adler, said it was for power. But Frankl came along and said, no, you're both wrong. Our most fundamental human drive is our quest for meaning.
So here they are, the 3 main avenues to a meaningful life. First, by creating something or doing a significant deed, your work. Second, by experiencing something or encountering someone, basically through love. And third, and this is the most profound one, by the attitude we choose to take toward unavoidable suffering.
This third path, this is maybe Frankl's most challenging and most important contribution. He argues that even in suffering, in fact, especially in suffering, we can find our deepest meaning.
Frankel's logic here is pretty inescapable, isn't it? If life as a whole is going to be meaningful, you can't just have this giant, meaningless black hole in the middle of it called suffering. No, the suffering itself must hold the potential for meaning.
And here's the crucial distinction. The suffering itself is not what gives life meaning. Not at all. It's how we respond to it. Our fate, our suffering, it gives us an opportunity to show what we're made of, to be brave and dignified and unselfish. It's in that choice that we become worthy of our suffering.
Frankl tells this incredibly moving story about a young woman dying in the camp. She was actually cheerful. She told him she was grateful for her fate because it had forced her to take her spiritual life seriously. She found companionship, a sense of eternal life, just by looking at a chestnut tree outside her window. Even at the very brink of death, she chose to find meaning and connection.
And so, you see, Frankl's work doesn't just describe what happened to him, it presents a challenge to every single one of us. Life is constantly asking us questions. It's not about what we expect from life, but about what life expects from us. So the ultimate question isn't, what is the meaning of my life? The real question is, what meaning will I choose to create in this very moment?